Welcome to day 39 of how to automate your law firm in 90 days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. I have a question for you. On a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being poor, lackluster, to 5, I can't live without it, it is amazing. How would you rate the current CRM tool you are using? Does it streamline your business processes? Does it enhance your client communication? Does it improve the management of your client data and integrations? If you have answered 3 or below for any of those questions, this video is for you. This is part 1 of our CRM automations. In this series, we will be able to help you improve your client relationship management using 2 of my favorite tools, Airtable and N8N. Let's dive in. Let's get started. I am on Airtable. Now, if you're not familiar with Airtable, I do have a series where I talk about Airtable and how it is such a powerful tool, especially if you're currently using Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. I'll go over some general information in this video where you will definitely be able to keep up. But if you have an interest in using Airtable in your law firm, which I think you should, you can have, and I'll link up top that playlist about Airtable, okay? Here are some of these are called bases that we have in Airtable: the legal matter management, the legal case analysis, the legal client general intake form, and it's just those 3. These are all templates that came readily available in Airtable so that law firms could leverage them to get started. Great. What I did was create a CRM base, and these are basically called bases. And how you can think about bases is basically a collection of tables that you have for all of the same purpose. Okay, it's just multiple tables that are together and they are connected for a single purpose. All right. In order to create a base, all you have to do is go over to the right hand side and click create. And here it asks you how you want to start. Do you want to build an app with AI or start from scratch? And you're going to click start from scratch. One of the things that I would like to point out is that I am using the free plan for this demonstration. And for for all of the demonstrations that I've given in Airtable, I have used a free plan. After the 90 days, I will do a deeper dive into Airtable and how you as a law firm can use it again to streamline business processes. One of the things that I absolutely love about Airtable is within the application, it has automations as well, which I did go step by step using some of them. One of the things that I did mention in that video is whenever you are using any type of automations, what you should do is see if that native application have any type of automations. And for instance, Airtable does. Now, some applications don't. More and more, I believe, as AI and AI agents and creating them, I think more applications may have automations, but if it doesn't, there are great platforms like N8N, which we will be using. Not in this video. In this video, all I'm going to be doing is showing you the base and going over the tables we will be connecting, sort of like as a step by step. So if you would like to create your own CRM, you're looking for something and you want to try this to see, or alongside to do a comparison to see if it's an improvement from the current CRM tool you're using, I want to go step by step so that you'll have that opportunity. Okay. So here is our, we created our base. We named it CRM. Now, if you notice these cute little icons, they don't automatically come with the base. What I had to do is right click on these three dots, and let me zoom it in a little bit. Oh, that was too much. All right. Here on the three dots, all I did was click on those. And what you can do is customize appearance. In order to rename the base, because it will by default, I can't remember what the name of what it automatically has. I think, oh, I do remember. It says untitled base. So when you first create your base by clicking on create, start from scratch, one of the things you see, it'll say untitled base. Okay. So when I go back to my workspace, here it is, untitled base. Let me delete this one because I don't need it. Okay. Yes, I do want to delete that. But in order to rename my base, all I would have to do is click in rename base, and I typed in CRM. Also, if you want to customize the appearance, all you have to do is click on there. You can use different colors. You see how I changed it to the aqua color, and also here are the colors, but you also have an opportunity to choose an icon as well. And I chose the people icon, and I could maybe change it to that one as well, which is pretty cool. It's just a quick indicator of, let me change it back. It's just a quick indicator of the maybe what type of base it is. Okay, let me change the color. Oh, okay. So I'm glad this came up. For the team plan, all of these, and I can't think of it as I'm trying to tell you, the light color bases, you see it says light base colors are available on the team plan. So for the free plan, you would have to use any of these bottom ones, which is okay. It does give you a selection. So, oh, we already have a gray one. Let's keep it. We could keep it blue. Okay. That's that. So now all I'm going to do is, and I already have my CRM open. I'll close it just to show you it's the same thing. So I like to, and it's definitely a preference. Whenever I'm working, if I'm working in different bases, what I like to do is just open it up in a new tab so that if there's another base that I would like to open up, like for instance, legal matter management, all I would need to do is just right click on it and open it up in a new tab. Okay, so let's talk about our different tables. Okay, here we have three tables. So again, CRM is our base, and the three tables that we have, before I do a deep dive into them, we have leads, we have interactions, we have appointments. And all I did in order to create this is click the plus sign. And well, when you first come in, and I'll use leads as the example, it'll say table one. And all I did to change or rename this to leads is go into the table and rename table. Okay. And you see that's how you can change leads. Now, in order to add on more tables, all you do is click the plus sign, and I chose start from scratch. Okay. And that is how you create a table. Pretty easy. Let me delete that one. Okay. Let's start with our leads table first. Okay. Let's start with our leads table first. In this table, what we're doing is, and I'm going to go over the fields. And if you can think of fields like in Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel, those are columns, okay? And instead of rows like with Excel and Google Sheets, this number one, this would be a record. So a record is basically the whole line, a row like you would think of with Microsoft Excel and, like I mentioned, Google Sheets. Okay. So let's look at the fields, and I'm going to talk about the field types. The first field that I have is lead ID. Okay. And oh, this is what I do want to show you all. When you first come in, and I'll create one from scratch. If you notice that there are fields that are already populate when you start a new table. And all you would have to do is you can either delete these three. I didn't mean to carry it. You can delete these three and just start with this one. So I'm going to delete it, and I'll show you all to do this as an example. I'm going to delete these three, and then, oh, I should have deleted all of them. Hold on. I deleted the wrong thing. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, I deleted the rows, and that's not what I meant to do. I'm trying to delete three fields. Okay, so I'm going to delete these three fields, and now you notice all I have is the name one. And what I'm going to do is I am going to edit the field, and then you can put in what field and what field type you want to have. Now, I did talk about fields and field types in my Airtable 101 series, okay? Or the other way, and but deleting, and I won't, because I was going to say the second way is what you can do is, let's say for instance you have these fields. All I did was Control Z to bring them back. You can have these fields, and you can just update all of them. Like if I wanted to change it to something else, instead of notes, I could maybe put email address, and then choose email. So it's whatever your preference is, either deleting all of them except for that first field, or you can just go through and, update the fields that are already provided by default, and then add on more fields. Okay. So let me delete this. Let me keep it here because I might need to use it as an example again. Okay, going back to our fields tab. Okay, I'm sorry, our leads table. So for my first field, what I have is lead ID, and this is auto numbered. So let me click in edit field, and again, it said table one at first. I changed it to lead ID, and here are all of the different field types, which again, I want to mention I did talk about in my Airtable 101 series. And the reason that I chose auto number is so that it can automatically number the different leads that we have. Now, the reason that I don't want to have a customized number, because we don't really know yet if this is going to be one of our clients. So why take the time of, creating a number, a specialized number, if as you go through the process and they choose not to work with, and our fictitious law firm is called ABC Law Firm. Well, if they don't want to work with us, then it doesn't make, we basically used a number that we didn't have to. Now, once a lead transitions into a client, then however you want to create a ID, a special ID for that specific client, you can do that. Okay. But for right now, all we're doing is auto numbering. And so if I click on this one, oh, and you know what? I need to delete it. And I'll tell you the reason that it has 4 is because you see how it automatically, not only did it have the fields by default, it also had it has 3 rows ready and prepared, well, I deleted those, and that's why it came up with 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete both of these so that when I click on it, I don't want it to say 5. Hold on, let me see. And I don't want to get caught up in I don't want to get caught up in that. Okay, I'm not. I wanted to say. I wanted to just say 1, but oh, let me see. It doesn't allow me to. It doesn't allow me to. It doesn't allow me to change it to 1, which is okay, which is fine. Okay, moving on to the next field. First name. And the reason, and this is single text, the A means single text. The reason that I have first name and last name separated is something that I've talked about in a couple of my videos. Instead of having full name, when instead of having the potential client's full name, when you are sending communications, usually you'll just have that person's first name. You'll say hello, let's say Janice. Okay. Well, as opposed to hello, Janice Thomas, just because that's the normal communication. Well, if you just have that client's full name, there's really not a way for you to parse out the first name and last name, and so that's why we have 2 different fields for our client's name. Next, we have email address, their phone number, and the source. And what we're going to do in part 2 of this series is we're going to create a Google form. Now, I'll be using Google form because it's easier, as you can use, and it's similar to the form you have on your website or any other type form, any form, jot form, any whatever form you have to capture a lead's information. It's the same thing. I'm just using Google form. Okay. And one of the things we want to do is, and again, that'll be in part 2, we want us to know, how did they find out about our law firm? Was it through our website? Was it a referral? Did they see us on social media? Just so that we can know, for analytic purposes, how did a lead find us? Okay. Now, the lead status is, and this is single select. So let me go in so you can see it. For lead status, it'll be automatically by default. It will be new. Did we contact them? But as they're going through the process, we can change it to contacted, follow up, converted, which means they are now one of our clients. So that is lead status, okay? And this is a single select. This is a single select field. Next is last contacted. So as we're going through, we want to know the last time we contacted someone. And in one of my videos, in 2 of them, I talked about one of the grievances that potential clients have against law firms is just their communication time, their follow up, calling and no one answers, no one follows up with the email. So knowing when we last contacted a potential client is good, because it can tell us whether or not we need to improve. Is it 24, within 24, 48, or 72 hours we're reaching out to them? As you know, there are probably many law firms that are within your city. If we want to get this client, how do we need to improve our follow-up and turnaround time? Okay. Notes, it's just notes that you'll know about the client. Now, in this form, tomorrow, you'll see how I link the just the notes about, so that we'll know what's going on with this potential client even before we talk to them. And I use personal injury most times in my example. So was it a workplace incident, a car incident? Did a dog bite them? Like, what happened? Okay. Interactions here is what interactions have did we have did we have with them. And so the interactions is right here. We have it linked to the interactions that are, it's linked here. And also, so let me move this because we don't want the interactions linked on this one. So let me delete these. I'll keep them here so I'll explain. So I'll do that. Okay. So let's go to our interactions tab. For our interactions tab, we have the date, the type, and our type is single select. Did we call them, send an email? Did we have a meeting with them? Okay. And the summary, pretty simple summary of the meeting. This is long text. So in edit field, you'll see I chose long text because you want to give, it's long, obviously the information for the summary is going to be longer than just like a first name, last name. Okay. Linked lead. So for our linked lead, let me explain. And this is the power of Airtable. The reason that I linked this lead is because I want to see in this information, as opposed to having to write the first name, last name of the client and have that information. Well, we're using our leads. So the easiest thing to do is to link it to our leads. And that is what we did. So here we have linked leads. It says, and I'll show you an example of what that looks like. Okay, so let's say, for instance, I am linking the lead and then I'll delete it. Okay, I'm going to put linked lead and I'm linking to another record. And you see what it does is it pulls in all of the tables in our base. Okay, and I'm going to say link to leads. And am I going to allow linking to multiple records? It's saying within this record, do I want to link to multiple records? And the answer is no, because we are only dealing with one client for this record. So I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to create field. Okay, let me put V1, V2. Okay, create field. Once I do that, what it's going to do is it's going to say, hey, here you're saying that you want to link the leads. How do you want to look up the fields? And remember, the columns, that's the same thing, synonymous with fields. And if you notice right here, you can see it in the table that I created. It's lead ID because I want to know the lead number and the last name. And the reason that I want those two, like for instance, the only reason that I didn't put first name, last name, well, there may be more than one Janice Thomas. There might be three. Who knows? Over the course of our law firm, we want to make sure that we have the correct client. And that's a way that it's called cyber hygiene, and even data hygiene. You just want to make sure that the person, especially because you're going to be dealing with confidential information, sensitive information, you want to make sure that you are sharing and giving updates for the correct client. Okay. And so because the lead ID is unique for each client, I want to link the lead ID and also the last name. And all we would have to do, if we can't remember who it is, we can go back to our leads to see who that is. Okay. I'm going to get out of that and I'm going to delete this. So once you do that, and again, you see here is the link lead ID. Let me see. And you see it's linked to lead. And when I linked this from interactions to the lead. That is why it created these interactions and appointments. Also, we just need to get rid of this. I'm okay with the appointments being there, but interactions, it's the that's why this populated here is because when I clicked on interactions and I linked it to the lead, you see link lead, here's the first interaction, and then it's the second one. Well, we don't need those, so we're just going to delete them. Okay. And again, I am in the leads table, and I'm deleting these two fields because they were automatically created when I linked the field to leads for this table, and we don't want those here. Now, appointments, I'm okay with. Let me see. No dependencies. So let's see what dependency you have. Let me see. Oh, let me see. I don't need this. Hold on. Oh, it's linked to interactions. So I'm okay with this one. And we want to allow, okay. We want to allow multiple records. I'm going to delete this interactions. For this one, I'm going to leave it here because I do want to know any interactions we have with this specific client, okay? And I'm going to leave on allow linking to multiple. No. Oh, yes, yes. Allow linking to multiple records. And that's saying that for here, as we go through our interactions, as like, let's say, for instance, we contacted a potential client one day. That's in there. Then we had a meeting with them. We have that in there. Well, we want all of those records linked to just this lead so we can see all the times we've interacted with that specific lead. Okay. Now, again, going back to interactions, we have date, we have the type, we have the summary, we have linked lead. And the way we're linking interactions, this interactions table with the leads table is by the lead ID and also that client's last name. Now let's go to appointments. And all this table is just scheduling different appointments. So here we have the date and time, and all I did was put in date and time, and I have the date. And when you go down, by default, include time is off. So I just turned it on so that I can have the date and time of that client's appointment. Here we have a single select field, and it's what type of method, how are we going to have an appointment with them? Are we going to have a phone appointment, a video appointment, or are they going to be in person? Okay. And we are linking, again, we're linking the lead so that we'll know who we're going to have an appointment with. And I linked it to the leads tab again. And you'll notice right here, it says link lead. I want to see their first name and their last name. Okay. This is where, and showing you kind of like what I did before in creating a new field, link lead, and then you choose what fields you want to be linked for this lead. Okay. Here we have our outcome. This is long text because we just want to know, just being able to notate what was the outcome of our appointment. And for the follow-up, it's single select two. Is there a follow-up needed? Yes or no? Okay. So we got through all of those three tables. We don't need this fourth table anymore. So I'm going to delete this table. And that is it for part one of our CRM automations. We discussed just the power of Airtable in being able to streamline business processes, enhance your client communication, and also improve the management of your client data and any integrations that you have. We went over all of the tables that are set up. Remember, this is the CRM, this is our base, and the tables we have within that base are leads, interactions, and appointments. My name is Shay Jackson. If you have any questions about automations, N8N, Airtable, I will have a link in the description box where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation. Have a great day.